right, man.
Yes, indeed, man.
How y'all brothers doing
Good
today?
stuff finna happen this weekend, dog.
Y'all good?
Yeah, we
We
good. We
good,
good,
man.
man.
You good?
All right, man.
Everybody got a red light.
Yeah, we
Red
got
light.
time for the show, man. I tell you, man. Let's put on a good one today, and let's give the world some of this knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. We got a lot to talk about today, man. A lot to talk about. What's on the agenda, Nat?
Got some NFL playoffs. We got some NCAA playoffs, and we just got some conversation about certain players within the league. We'll talk a little bit about LeBron James, talk about NFL, and some college football playoffs.
Okay, I can go for that, man.
LeBron wants to take over. LeBron wants to take over an WNBA team. We're gonna touch on that.
Okay. Do it.
Wow.
We ain't on that.
So what's happening in Miami, dog? Everything good in Miami?
Everything good down here in South Florida, man. The weather nice.
Everything good in Raleigh? And everything's good in Daytona. And Roll Tide, I see Roll Tide. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Innovative sports talk across America. We have Randall, Randy, and Daryl. We'll be here every week for you. So let's get started, guys.
Let's do it.
What's going on? Let's do this thing, man.
Tomorrow, we got some NFL football. Who we got playing tomorrow, Randy?
We got the Colts and the Bills, 1 o'clock, 4:40. You got the Rams and the Seahawks. The Buccaneers take on the Washington football team. Sunday, you got the Ravens and the Titans. The Bears and the Saints, and Cleveland versus Pittsburgh.
The Colts and the Bills. That's an interesting matchup right there.
Colts and the Bills, slug.
Colts
What's interesting about it?
Colts got they got some thugs on defense. The Colts do. They're real physical.
Name
They're gonna hit you.
who is one of them? Give me a name.
My boy from South Carolina State, Darius, the linebacker.
Okay. I thought you was gonna come up with a goose egg on that one for me, Nat. You know.
But hey, Buffalo is one of the hottest teams in NFL right now. They're playing over their head.
Ooh, I saw a video 2 days ago of Buffalo at practice, man, dancing on the field to MC Hammer, Can't Touch This. I mean, it was crazy, man. My mind went, man, look here, the Buffalo Bills gonna win the Super Bowl. Buffalo Bills finna win the Super Bowl.
They got a good shot at it.
I tell you this, man. I think that
they brought in some veterans, man, that really solidified the offense. A kid from Miami, from Ghouls in Miami, John Brown. They brought him in at wide receiver, and Stephon Diggs came over from Minnesota. So that solidified the offense, and then they drafted a little young man out of Utah named Moss, the running back. He's from South Florida too.
Yes, he is.
So the quarterback, man, the kid did that.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Yeah,
Allen?
Josh Allen.
Wow.
I think, hey, man.
Josh Allen, man.
Hey, I don't listen. I'm predicting an upset on this one, man. The Colts defense, man, I'm telling you, I think that they tough, man. I think that they pretty much, they gonna, man, playoff football changes. Ball around and people being wide open and having all that fun and dancing to Can't Touch This and all that stuff, man. Listen.
Say, don't
listen. Hey, you better, like I say, he better give Lamar Jackson a call, give Deshaun Watson a call, and ask them how different this thing turned up in playoffs. This is first playoff appearance.
Wow.
Hyping them up, everybody telling them, oh yeah, boy, this is a Super Bowl team, boy, yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, last year, I mean, you got to see what happens with it's a lot of these quarterbacks. Playoff football is different. And it shows why those veteran quarterbacks always succeed in the playoffs because they know what to expect. They know how it changes. The rookie, those first timers to the playoffs, quarterbacks that does very well, in that off, in the regular season, transition to first time, they always struggle a little bit, in the playoffs. So I definitely see, that happening for the Bills. So that's why I call it, upset alert on this one. Because, it's going to be different.
You got 17 weeks of film to look at, too, to prepare for your opponent.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be different.
It comes down to the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator.
Darius Leonard said that ain't no pressure on the coach, there's no pressure on them at all.
Yep.
That's straight out the horse's mouth.
Exactly. So that's the team. That's the team
who's playing two quarterbacks.
So I know around me and you, we done been back and forth about, some of your quarterbacks. I know Mr. Jacoby Brissett sit down there. And Phillip Rivers. What do we think about Phillip Rivers, man? I mean,
see, and that's the part
he was
like
kind of successful.
Exactly. And you get into been there before. Mm-hmm. Phillip Rivers been there before. Mm-hmm. He's had some times where he was on some teams that should have on a couple of teams that should have won some Super Bowls with LaDainian Thompson back in the days when he played out there, San Diego. So he got a little chip on his shoulder, and it's a lot different when you know that, man, this might be the last train. This
Colts are 7. They're 7 seed, and seeds, man, seeds
can go out the window in the playoffs.
Don't mean nothing in the playoffs.
Nah, it doesn't mean anything.
There are no fans.
There's no fans this year.
Playing in Green Bay or Buffalo.
Exactly. So my thing is that the only thing this year is the weather. But you got the Colts who play indoors. Now they got outdoors to go play Buffalo. That weather gonna be a little different, but they also in Indianapolis, so I would think that they were outside this week practicing, getting ready for that. Of course, so that's the only thing that you play into this year, weather, because going when you got to go to one of those cold stadiums, and then it's a little different, So this year, so that's
this weekend is also the first weekend that a 2 seed has played on the first weekend in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because usually, so the Bills would have been one of those. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
that extra week,
hard as they are, they don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Now the extra week, you know what? What you're fighting against, though. You're fighting against COVID-19.
Yeah.
The more weeks, you. Hey, let's get it over with. We need to get it on while everybody healthy.
Yeah.
COVID hit right now on a couple of them teams. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you done game plan for one outcome, and you get another one.
Yeah.
So,
and the COVID impact definitely just it puts a monkey wrench into this every week. So it puts a big question mark on everything. So you go back into the whole bubble. You want everybody to be safe, man. Let's make sure we, remain healthy, and you can only be as healthy as you can be, and you just I don't know, man. Just you crossing your fingers each week. So
yeah, most definitely.
Within this matchup, what player do you guys see that could possibly have a career playoff series? Within this matchup between the Colts and the Bills, what player do you guys see in this series that could have a career?
Ray Rounder, youth.
I'm going with Jonathan Stewart, man. I think, that young man, he's running the ball. He's coming along strong. He's healthy. And that's big when you get a college player that transitions to the NFL, understanding that 17 game, season and going in, and then you make it to the playoffs. So you want to go into the playoffs being able to, tote that. He know how to tote it. He's doing that, what he did at Wisconsin. He's bringing a little bit of that to the league. And we know how in the NFL, you got to be able to run the ball. That puts the Colts in a good predicament when you could play good defense and you could run the ball and you could run that clock. And guess what you can do now? You can kind of keep Phillip Rivers from out there having to throw 50 balls a game. So, I say Jonathan Stewart, man. If they do something tomorrow, if Jonathan Stewart has a good day and that defense flying around, man, listen, that's it.
Hey, my take on that is
I'm gonna go with
my
Steve.
guy is Phillip Rivers.
Mm.
I'm taking Phillip Rivers in this game as an impact player. I just don't know which way the impact is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be positive or negative. I'm thinking that the key behind them being successful is being able to throw the football. And here's this old wily veteran in the playoffs again. I mean, it's almost like these old quarterbacks in the playoffs this year. They it's a bunch of them there. You know, Breeze, Rivers,
Mm-hmm.
Brady. It's almost like these guys are trying. Roethlisberger. Like, hey, let's show y'all how this thing is done.
Yep.
Let's do this. And Stewart, he run the football pretty well. They can't run all day. They will have to throw the ball eventually.
Yeah.
Somebody got to throw the ball around the yard tomorrow. And if Rivers throws it around right, he can get them to that next level. Stewart's running game won't get them to the next level. It'll help, but them guys got to be on being able to throw the ball tomorrow, and it's gonna all come down to Phillip Rivers. How can he play? How well does he play?
Yep. And correction, I missed. The kid from the Colts' name is Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor was his name.
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin.
All right, there with you, man.
Yeah, the rookie. Yeah, man.
Jonathan Stewart
Yep.
from UM. He played at UM.
Yeah, so I'm talking about old Taylor.
I'm gonna go with Stephon Diggs.
Mm.
Remember Stephon Diggs is a big play guy. Remember the catch he made, the miracle catch he made in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Scored on the last play of the game.
Yeah, the catch that shouldn't have never happened.
Just never happened. Okay, what a miracle. Yeah, it was damn sure a miracle.
Miracle with the refs not looking.
That was some divine intervention, I'm telling you.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was more divine than the immaculate reception.
Damn, the safety should have caught the pick and everything. So yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Yo, wow.
See, he has the ability to be a possession receiver and a number one receiver. He can go up top, and he knows how to sit in those seams to get those first down. To move the chains, that's going to be the story for Buffalo, to move the chains. And I think they have a good young running back, but I think Stephon Diggs has that leadership, and he has that diva-ness in him to take Buffalo a long way here in the playoffs.
Okay.
Well done.
So when they
got the Rams and the Seahawks.
Ooh. The Rams playing a young quarterback.
Well, I got one thing to say. I'm going to start this one off. I'll take this one first. I like the Seahawks in this one. I'll take the Seahawks in this one. And Russell Wilson, just that I heard I'm going to make you laugh, Nat. And I'll make you laugh. And I don't need a response from this, but I'm going to make you laugh. Ryan Clark said this morning on the show this morning, ESPN, he said he was talking to Brian McFadden yesterday. And Brian McFadden told him, he said, man, ain't nothing better than curly head Russ. And that's what we got now. We got curly head Russ. So, hey, it wasn't nothing better than curly head Russell Wilson. Well, so I'm riding with Russell Wilson on this one in the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Another one of them veteran ball players. But I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to go with the freak at wide receiver.
Ooh, DK?
Seattle. DK. He's been having an exceptional season, and I think he got something to prove. You see me going with the receiver. You see me going with all the ball players. I played receiver.
Listen. So since both of you went with, the Seahawks, and, I love what Russell Wilson doing and all that, man, that their running game is back. Everybody healthy. This is what's been the reason why the Seahawks hasn't been able to do any, proceed through that playoffs like they really wanted to, because of those running backs getting hurt and all that stuff. He finally got a full running game to his capability. He's good. The receivers looking good. Defense looking good. Man. But I ain't gonna go with him because both of y'all went with him. So I'm gonna go. I'm going to say the Rams, and I'm gonna say this: Rams have two players that was just called on to all pro teams. Our boy Jalen Ramsey out of Florida State, Florida boy, and then Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald had 13 and a half sacks this season. This guy has been his 7-year NFL career so far. He's been named the 6th all pro team. Six-time all pro this year. So yeah. So I think that
he's the truth.
yep, he the truth, man. He's unblockable down there in them trenches. He quick. He hey, hey, he don't play those games or whatever. So yeah. So I say that's gonna be that D line putting that pressure on Russ. They're gonna have to run the ball or whatever, so they're gonna make some noise.
I want to change my impact player to another former Florida Gator.
Oh.
My homeboy stepson, my homeboy Roger Jackson's stepson,
okay,
Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah.
Since he came from Cincinnati, that defense
been put together
has changed because what they did, they moved the other twin, other Griffin twin to the edge rusher. He comes in and he's like a bullet off the side. But since they got Carlos Dunlap, that's my impact player. Carlos got it. Hey, we're gonna call Roger, see if we can get him on the show maybe Monday or Tuesday, and see what Roger had to say about it.
Yeah, Carlos Dunlap on point. Yeah.
All right. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team.
Football team. Look like Bethune.
I know they do. They do. Hey, listen.
They got the same helmet. Our burgundy helmet.
Hey, why you messing around? Every time I see that,
let's go Wildcats.
Exactly. They look like Bethune, man.
Hey,
look good.
Let's go.
Let's go.
For real. Exactly. But you know they ain't rocking in the like that. That's it.
Chase Smith.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough day for Mr. Brady. You know, I'm pulling for him, but he go
get chased all night.
And Tom been trying to hang in that pocket lately, boy.
Man, Tom. Listen, let me tell you something. Tom been playing this game long enough. He done seen Chase Young's throughout 20-year career.
Yeah.
And Michael Strahan's and all them boys. Come on.
I said it wasn't.
He gonna get rid of that ball.
I said it wasn't gonna be easy for him. I ain't saying he couldn't handle it or he ain't seen it.
Yeah.
But, it's gonna be a rough day at the office. It should be a fairly easy day at the office.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be. I mean, that team, the Washington football team, Brady should breeze right through them. This playoff football, and that's Tom Brady.
Just like we said, man, Washington is one of these teams that really don't have any business being in the playoffs. They're a rebuilding team. I think, they're heading in the right direction. That D-line is very, very strong, going to the future. Like the Rams and stuff like that, they built like that. So you building it from the trenches on out. So you already got that going. So now you just need to find some more pieces and you can actually be doing something,
Right, correct.
But I think that they kind of, but that is with that being the strength of their team, with the D line and that matchup with, Tampa and passing the ball and stuff like that with Tom Brady, and Chase Young and on the other end. Oh man, listen, them boys ain't playing no games, man. So but I think that man, Brady gonna get that ball out of his hand. He gonna do a bunch of nickel and dime in it, and then put them boys to sleep quick.
Well, you look at his receiving core also. You got Gronk in there. It's playoff time. Gronk know how to play in the playoffs, man. You get away with a few extra nudges and pushes, and they tend to let them play a little bit in the playoffs. So this Gronk football, the big thing is that Mike Evans is gonna be 100%. A lot of them guys don't have playoff experience, but some of the key guys, the majority of them don't have playoff experience. I just named two guys with it on the offensive side of the board, or the ball that touches the ball, here or there. And but this season hadn't been the same type of season as previous seasons. So, kind of looking at this game like, week 17 or what, you know what I mean? It's almost like the schedule been so up and down. You played on a Tuesday. They played every day this week in NFL. There was a game every day of the week in the NFL this season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different in itself. You know what I mean? So I think this year is a lot. I think a lot of these players are coming around right now. They're just getting them, their legs up under themselves.
Yeah.
Because this has been a different season. I mean, this is just it's crazy. It's crazy, for us to be at this point right now with all the obstacles that we've been through. You know, that there even was a season. You know, that I don't think we had any doubt that it was gonna be one, but
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
I got an impact player for you. This young man changed the direction of two franchises this season: the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another one of my homeboys' sons, Jonathan Bostic, at linebacker. We talked about him, working with him as a kid in the football camp. Very heady, very smart linebacker. One of the most brilliant minds in the NFL at linebacker. He can be a big impact with Grunt coming across that middle.
Well, we know he can hit.
We're gonna
We
bring
know he can
Jonathan
hit.
Bostic
You know,
on too.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. He'll
Yeah,
lay that wood now.
he'll knock your
He'll lay
lights
that
out.
wood.
But he made an impact when he knocked out Dalton for the Cowboys, and he made the key interception against Pittsburgh to start them on their losing streak. So
Right,
Pittsburgh was
right.
undefeated. He started that streak for them. He's my impact player in this game. I'm gonna go with an upset with the football team.
No, that's funny.
Woo.
The football team.
Hey,
All that stuff happened
on
in
that,
Washington D.C. this
on
week.
that, my
Why not?
impact player, I'm going with Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette, hey,
He can run. He
Ooh,
can run through them.
that's it. Yeah. And he can get that thing going this year. He only, he still got a lot of tread on the tires coming from Jacksonville. Jacksonville worked him. They ain't too much working this year with Washington. So I'm gonna go with the big back. That's what you want. In the playoffs, you want a back like that. Took the load 25 times, soften up the middle, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going with Leonard Fournette. Get that thing going for him. They're gonna need him in the playoffs big time.
I hope. I like to see him. Like to see him go to work. Tell you the truth, man. So we're gonna.
Hey, I know somebody who as a kid designed the uniforms for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and never submitted it, and they're wearing the exact same uniform right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know a kid that drew the uniform, for the contest, and he never submitted it, and they're wearing those exact
crazy.
uniforms right now.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Sometimes
Yeah.
things happen.
That's crazy. He could be a millionaire right now.
Hey,
Man.
hey, this podcast would be going a lot different then.
Have Tyler Perry studio type,
No, that's
podcast
right.
going on, on location. We be since South Florida somewhere right now.
Come on, man. That's it.
On location.
That will be the 9 to 5.
Yeah, man. So the next game up is gonna be the
What's the next game, fellas?
Bears, the Monsters of the Midway versus the New Orleans Saints.
Drew Brees.
Take it away, Randall.
Man, the Bears going to New Orleans, man, inside that home, man.
Trubisky go work him to death.
No go. That glass slip off Mr. Trubisky foot slips off. I think the Saints gonna play hard. It's gonna be a hard fought game.
We ain't gonna see Cinderella on Sunday.
Nah, I don't think. I think we're gonna see some theatrics. Hey, listen, we might see a little bit of theatrics, and all that stuff. But I don't. It's a that Khalil and all them coming back to the playoffs. That's awesome. Stuff like that.
Is the Cohen kid? Is he hurt?
Is he? Tariq Cohen's
Yeah,
here.
Tariq Cohen's out for the year.
Okay.
So his knee.
I hadn't heard much about him this year.
So I think Montgomery took his place.
So I think that I think with that with that being going like that, I don't think. Yep. I think my impact play in that game though. I take the tight end Cook. Cook could get off on them, man, big time. Then on the other side, you got Jimmy Graham on the other side for Chicago. That's gonna be a good. I want to see the tight end matchup.
His old team.
Tight end matchup. Yeah, it's his old team. That's. The big time numbers and stuff like that. Who made who he, who brought out the legendary status who he is. So yeah, that's gonna be a good matchup there. Jimmy Graham come back home and all that. So yeah, like to see that. But yeah, Saints. Yeah, Saints win that.
What kind of game Breeze have?
getting about three touchdowns, 375, 3 touchdowns, something
All
like
right.
that. You know,
So
good day.
my next question is, so what kind of game does Taysom Hill have?
Taysom Hill gonna get in and run a couple of balls, catch him a couple of passes, you know, do the little gimmick stuff. But other than that, man, that's it.
Okay, and my impact player for that game is Taysom Hill.
Mm.
I think that they go try to keep that pressure off of Breeze. They don't want him hit too much. So I think when Hill gets his opportunities, it's gonna be some situations that they don't want to put Breeze in. They need Breeze through the playoffs. For some reason, they don't want to go to Jameis. You know, maybe because they don't want their backup quarterback hurt. You know what I
Jameis
mean?
coming
Or
off
he's
COVID
just
too.
not making good decisions. You know, he hadn't learned yet or whatever. I don't know what it is, man.
Jameis
And,
still colorblind. That was
you know,
wrong.
I'm going with Taysom Hill. I think he's gonna be that impact player. I think they're gonna have to lean on him heavily against Chicago, and I think he'll get 7-8 touches. You know, about 7-8 touches in 4 quarters. You know,
My impact player is the man who wears the grill, Alvin Kamara, catching that ball out of the backfield to beat those shifty linebackers that the Bears have. Alvin Kamara haven't caught many passes out of the field since Drew Brees was out, but Drew Brees is back. Kamara will be your man.
Facts.
wow. Okay,
Got that.
okay. We good on that one.
Yep.
All right. Well, last game
We
of
good
the
on that one.
weekend. The Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Versus
The
the
Gray
Pittsburgh
Faces.
Steelers. Okay.
The gray faces.
Okay. All right,
That
Juju.
was Juju called them. Juju Smith-Schuster said
You
they're
ain't
the
learned
gray
yet.
faces.
Juju got to
He
go back
learned.
over that middle a couple times this
Yeah, he
weekend.
learned.
Yeah.
He'll
He
learn.
running
Hey.
that pie hole, boy.
I got a young man, one of my kids. He grew up in my backyard. Plays strong safety, number 29, Cedric Redwine from the University of Miami. And I texted him this morning. I said, put a little extra on Juby for me. Put a little bit extra on Juju for me. And do TikTok on top of it.
And do the dance when you hit him, man.
That's my impact player, Cedric Redwine.
Right,
From
you
the
got
youth.
that man out there targeting. You got that man out there targeting. Okay.
They'll take some money out. Hey, they gonna
Yeah.
No, Cedric go for ankles.
Listen,
You're
they
ankle
gonna
tackles.
take
I ain't worried about the targeting.
they gonna
He's going
take
for
some
the
money out.
ankles.
Check.
Yeah, Matt got the man out there targeted, man. Somebody old Juju.
So yeah,
Juju gonna do his thing
By the
on
time this
third
show
down,
air, we'll
second
know.
and long. You know, other than that, you know, it ain't his show no more. I mean, I just wish they had a better running game. I really do. I hope they can get it going. Maybe Connor can, Ben can't carry that load by itself. Yeah, see,
Cleveland
in
got some
Cleveland,
monster
you
running
know,
backs.
the thing is, ain't no pressure on Cleveland.
nope.
Cleveland, like, man,
And they
it's
ain't
17
scared.
years since we don't know nothing about this. You know,
They
we ain't
dogs.
never heard the history of how that, you know what I mean, until this year, or
Yeah.
how they ain't been to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's just been bad Cleveland teams, you know. But and my thing is, like Juju said, they the Cleveland Browns.
Still
They the Cleveland
Still.
Browns.
the
Yeah.
Cleveland
Still
Browns.
Cleveland
Yeah,
Browns.
like I say, this season been a different season. And, you know, circumstances had been different. You know, I think it's some people in the crowd and some, you know, that kind of fanfare that goes on at them games live with people and, you know, interaction. These games change, you know. You know, it's no more in the end zone. I can't hear, you know, you quiet in the crowd and, you know, false starts because of, you know, you can't hear the play, you know, the signals being called.
Yep.
So, you know, Cleveland Brown, you know, 11-5 ain't bad. That ain't a bad season.
Yeah, it's a good season.
Coach deserved to be there another year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody happy. The city of Cleveland's happy they made the playoffs.
Mike
Yep.
Tomlin.
No, they shouldn't get real excited in Cleveland. Not, you know, not unless LeBron come back. You know. Something, yeah.
Come play, come play
Believe
tight end for
land,
him, huh?
that ain't happening. That's done. That's over and done. Yeah, LeBron did
Yep.
that already.
Believe land.
Yep.
But that's it on the playoffs for the weekend, and I guess the other teams will sit around and wait. The one will sit around and see what happens with with whoever. Who does Kansas City get if they
What
win?
about
I mean, who wins and
the lower
Yeah,
seed
they
okay.
team?
take
The
that. I
lower
think they
seed
take
team
that
that
4 or
wins.
5 seed. Whoever the win out of the 4 or 5.
All right, so that would be the Titans Ravens.
Yeah. So they gonna see what I'm saying.
Mm.
See what I'm saying.
That's
So
gonna be a
whoever
game.
wins that
That's gonna
game,
be a dog
hey,
fight.
I mean, so Kansas City come out the gate taking on one of them. Yeah, that's
Mm.
monstrous game right there. So they come off they bye week ready. You got to get physical. You got to get ready to get physical off the gate. So yeah, man. Yes,
Okay, yeah.
indeed. So there ain't gonna be no cakewalk for them. And then the same thing with what on the other side, what you have in Green Bay. Green Bay takes who then?
The 4-5. Just had it. Get out of that
Whoever going to Green
Yeah.
Bay better be ready to play in the
one. It'll
snow.
be Tampa Bay, Washington.
Come on now.
Tampa Bay, Washington.
They'll
So
play
now,
Tom Brady. Oh,
yep.
Tom Brady in the
So
frozen tundra.
Tom
So
Brady
now
know
you
how to
got
play in
Can
the
you
frozen
hear
tundra.
the
Now.
hype?
He ain't
So
even
now you got
proud playing in. It's them other cats that
yeah.
don't know how to play. Tom Brady played in New England for all these 20 years plus.
Yep.
So, he ain't gonna have no problem out there. It's gonna be, I've seen him with turtlenecks on and whatever.
Yes, indeed.
Tom Brady know how to do it. It's them other cats that you got like AB that's got to get on out the way. AB played in Pittsburgh too, so he it's just been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
minute.
AB nobody.
Yeah.
But then so then that sets it up if Tampa Bay does knock off Washington, and then now they have to travel up to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Now, just like you said, so
Look
on
at-
both sides,
Yeah,
on both sides, you in
look at this
dogfight.
script. See how sports is
Great
always
point.
scripted. Somehow, every game, every play, something happens in these contests that, it's almost like who's writing this stuff, man? It's
Yeah.
like crazy, man. Crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Derek Jeter's last at bat, single walk off the right field, to win the game for the Yankees. His last at bat ever. 3,000 hit is a home run. You know what I mean? Come on, who writes this stuff, man? Golly.
That's that parody, man. That's the parody.
Man, they brilliant. Whoever's doing it.
It's the parody.
I see a lot of scripts being written this weekend. Like I said earlier, with these older quarterbacks. I mean, some of these young guys need to take a look at the longevity of some of these guys, and that's attrition. Take a look at it. These the last of that set with the Roethlisbergers and the Bradys and the Phillip Rivers and the Drew Brees. Don't nothing like that come after them right now.
Yeah.
The Mahomes is he started, and him and Lamar and Deshaun and the Allens, the ones that's doing it, the Herberts, Tagovailoas, So,
yeah.
but we seeing history, man. We seeing you might see that this might be the last of Phillip Rivers. This might be the last of Drew Brees. Well, this is the last of Drew Brees. From what I understand, he signed his contract with NBC or whoever, and Brees supposed to be going to the booth. So basically, you seeing the end of an era. And you gotta give him some credit for Brees put up numbers. Brees, New Orleans, he won New Orleans a Super Bowl. He gave the city of New Orleans what they wanted when they acquired him. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, you're right.
It is what.
You called a name in there. We're gonna pull out an impact player that's not in the playoffs.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson. There's talk of him going to the Jacksonville Jaguars for the number 1 pick. Urban Meyer have a
See,
heart
but
attack
now,
trying to
so
get
so
the
so
coach.
now that goes into with that news of Jacksonville in the way that pick. That means that whatever coach they trying to go after, let's say, okay, they already in negotiations with whatever coach they're trying to go after. So then that coach is now with the GM is already working on what they're going to do with that number one pick. So then that lets you know that they're already working that behind the scenes. To see what they want to go with. They looking at the draft and like, man, we don't want to
crunching numbers right now.
Yeah, they like, man, we
Big
don't
time.
thank you. Like we don't want to
And
we
Houston,
don't want to play this
And
game.
the biggest the thing about Jacksonville, or a lot of these teams that they have a nucleus of players. They
Yes.
don't need but one or two players.
Yeah.
So for them to another $4 million
Yeah.
to get Urban Meyer or a coach that
Definitely.
would lead them into the promised land,
Yeah.
it's well worth it.
Man, let's not-
we're not talking about 10 players. We're talking about like a coach and a player or two
Yes.
players, one on
Yes.
each side of the ball. And Deshaun Watson would be a plus.
you talking about a quarterback who can sustain a drive a couple of times a game. You take your
Also,
team
a
from
coach
2
and a player that's going to
14
change
10 and 4.
the temperature of that team.
Yes.
Brady comes to Tampa Bay, everybody wants to come.
That's what I'm saying.
Deshaun Watson comes to Jacksonville, maybe somebody might want to play football then.
Definitely.
Because they ain't playing no football right now because
They got
there's
some
nothing in it
receivers
for
there
them
already.
right now. You know what I mean? And a friend of mine has a son that just signed, that plays in the NFL now. He's a rookie this year. I talked to him one time and he told me it's kind of crazy that he understands that it's really not for the love of the game at a certain point in the NFL. It's about that contract. And a lot of these guys are not playing, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are not playing up to their full potential. So you're not getting 100% from a lot of these guys in the NFL.
Not at all.
Not.
But here's what you're seeing. Here's what you're seeing, Randy. You made a great comment there. If you're not a playoff team, you playing for the money.
You're playing for a roster spot.
If you're on a playoff team, you got a parameter. You're playing. You're playing to win the championship. If you're not on a playoff team, you got a roster spot, and it's just a job.
Just bought mama that new house.
Yep.
Gave her that new whip for for her birthday. You know what I mean? About $2.5 million up in here on a car and a house.
Yep.
And
then and then you.
That's the way of the game now.
Well,
we played for the love of the game.
Well, I think that going back to for the love of the game, I think that they've always taught the kids nowadays, the young men, it's the business, it's the business, it's the business. So now when you bring that to a young man coming out of college now that already comes out with his own brand, that already comes out with Nike deals, that already comes out with all these commercial status already, and then you telling him to play the business game. That's what you telling him, right? Hey, get your money right and get it going. Don't worry about the love of it. Get it, because that's what the NFL teams has been doing to us, to those guys or whatever. Back in the days, you remember when Emmitt Smith rushing for all them yards, sit down and showed the Dallas Cowboys for 4 games, like, hey, listen, okay, you think you could do it without me? Do it. I vividly remember them losing 3 of those games or whatever. Signed him the next week. They went on to win it. Hey, they won the Super Bowl that year. So sometimes, and that's the business aspect. You think that was killing Emmitt Smith that he set during that time, man? Of course it was. But at the end of the day, he to prove a point to the business. So now fast forward to some of these young men. These young men learning the business game from some of those old vets that's telling them, hey man, you got to learn this business game. You got to learn what it's about. So a lot of that kind of goes out the window. You got to push that love of football to the side, because at the end of the day, my body is my business, and I got to stay healthy and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, how they call the NFL, not for long. So your production go down one season and then you done. Look how they already talk about Ezekiel Elliott all of a sudden, So yeah, and then going back to the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're talking about a team. 3 years ago, 2017, Jacksonville Jaguars went. Let me tell you about the Pro Bowl. Come on, played in the AFC title game against the Patriots. If it wasn't for a recovered fumble that was stopped by the refs, They would have won that game, went to the Super Bowl. You would have played what? Philadelphia Eagles. Never know what happens. But hey, that's here nor there. But let's talk about the Pro Bowlers of the season. You had Jalen Ramsey now playing for the Rams. AJ Boye, Calais Campbell now playing for. He's playing for the Ravens. Yannick, the other defensive end, he's playing for what? Minnesota Vikings now, right? Was he?
Wow.
Leak Jackson, Telvin Smith ain't even playing football. So, and then you still had, and then go back to Leonard Fournette was in the backfield that season. Now Leonard Fournette playing for Tampa. So they did a total overhaul of that team. You know, that team was only hurting because they needed that time, and you didn't have it. So all you did was,
see, I think that they building that team the right way. I really believe it. I mean, the people that don't want to be there,
thank you. Get them out.
Go ahead and get rid of them.
Roll and get you some draft picks.
Get you some picks.
Yes.
Bring you in a coach, high profile coach that knows the game. Urban Meyer can flip the script a little bit. People go want to play for Urban Meyer. And Deshaun Watson, if you can pull that off, you got the nucleus for an offense, for a team that, and we know offense, they say defense wins championships, but you still got to be able to score a few points. I always go back to that Trent Dilfer a Baltimore Raven team or that Brad Johnson Buccaneer team and say, you ain't got to throw for 4,000 in a game to win football games. You know what I mean? You got to have a little defense, and they need to create a few turnovers.
Yep.
And, that's it. And the teams that do that, win football games.
Yes.
Yep.
Can I throw
Randall L or Randall?
It was Brad Johnson's son. It was Brad Johnson's son.
Oh yeah, against LSU. Yeah, it was, and that was terrible. My Lord.
That was Brad Johnson's son.
Got his first start, and we made him look. That defense was making everybody look great that year, so that ain't nothing to be impressed about. Yeah.
Talking about college football now, guys. The biggest game that everybody's looking at. Every college player wants to play in this game. It's going to be played in Hard Rock Stadium on Monday night.
Miami Gardens,
Somebody
baby.
might be on the sideline. Who's on the sideline?
Listen, man.
You going to be on the sideline? You going to be on the sideline? Can you?
I know, right? That's what I told him. I told him, I like, hey, listen, I'm trying to see if I can come in with a backpack on, hey, holler.
Don't you wear no backpack in Hard Rock, boy.
I know that's right, especially doing not.
Hey, take a look.
Get drunk about it.
Take a look up top there. I guarantee you see. Hey, you go see a flash and a red beam.
I'm telling
somewhere
you.
At the top of the Hard Rock on Monday night. They gonna be up there. Don't wear no backpack in there.
Yes, man. And then, it's big game down here in Miami Gardens. Man, that game is, it's going to be live, man. That's a good ending to the college football season. With these two teams going at it. So,
Hey, I got a question right quick, Nat.
But tell us about the
Nat,
view.
hold on a second.
Tell us about the view.
I got a question. Everybody got their record light on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Except me. Mine went off. It said something about it was not recording on my phone.
Okay.
It's recorded from you.
All right. Got it.
Yep.
We'll see how it comes out. No
Yep.
problem. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead back to what we were saying about the Miami Gardens on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm really happy for you, man.
Man. Got the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
Being that the military status and all that good stuff, giving us the opportunity to go up there. So man, thank them for that. And us being able to get there. So man. So do all my COVID testing and all that stuff, and be able to be on the line, be able to watch the game. Be a late night, but it'll be a good late night.
No, that'll be a late one, man.
So when it's time for the confetti, we should right?
Shooting it off. You know what I'm saying? Congratulating whatever.
Shake Nick Saban's hand for me, man.
That's right, man.
Dap him up for me, man. You know what I mean? Now if they lose, you better not go nowhere near Nick Saban, boy.
Don't even touch me if they lose.
Don't even try to even walk in that direction, boy. He gonna give you that mama look, and you'll turn around, So nah, you don't want to be around him when he angry. I'm sure.
Yeah, man.
Hey, there's a rumor that Jalen Waddle It's a game time decision for the side.
I'm finna predict something. I'm finna predict something. Randall getting ready to say Nat. Randall getting ready to say Jalen Water better sit his ass down somewhere. Because I know how he feel about opting out. You know what I mean?
Listen, like we said again, you better the business. Like we talked about again, all these old vets tell them the business, hey, the love of the game. That hey, you've completed your task of playing for the love of the game. You played high school, college football, love of the game. Now it's a business. You got this NFL draft in April. Come on, man. Listen. You go out, man. That man go out there and tear up that ankle again. He will not be healthy for that combine. He drops out the first round.
No, because you don't want that 4.2 to turn into a 4.4. You know what I mean? That changed the game. That's like, wait, that ain't what we bargained for. Yeah. That ain't what we were looking at. Yeah, you know, you're a regular horse at 4.4.
Yeah, you look.
You just look Secretariat. You know what I mean? You just a regular horse.
And you got that bad ankle. We know you can still run the routes right.
Yeah, we need 4.2 from you, bro. Shoot, you know, you gotta have that.
Randall, we had a chance to talk to your youngest son last night, and great kid, very intelligent. You know, knows the football game. But if he was Jalen Waddle, and you were the
by the time he get to that age, I'm a he'll make that decision, because the stuff that and I know my son to be one of those kids that want to go out there and play, and he want to go ball and be with his, if he's at that stage, you ain't played since October and you've been sitting on the sideline and you've been pretty much laboring yourself to get back healthy. Now you back healthy and all that. So I know he would want to play, but then, like how everybody, I would hope that I've taught my son enough to go off to a school that's going to value him in that capacity in his career and say, hey, listen, if you're not 100% healthy, we're not even going to allow you to go out there. That's my thing. A young man at that age shouldn't even be allowed the opportunity to make that decision that could jeopardize his career. Because, at the end of the day, Alabama could win that game without him.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't see it neither. And I think that, I can't see Nick Saban. And that's what I feel. I feel like that's why they calling it a game day decision, because they say that the doctors cleared him at the beginning of the week. Then they say it's a game.
And they don't need Jalen Waddle to win that game.
They do not.
They do not need Jalen Waddle to win that game. What I don't like is seeing Smitty run punts back.
Is the Heisman Trophy.
I really don't like that situation at all myself. That he's running punt returns, so he'll never. I ain't gonna say he'll never see that at the next level, because he's really good at it. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, he is.
But
that's what he's gonna be in the NFL his first year. I
don't think so.
Hold on. Yeah, he will. He probably will return some punts.
But now that you said that, now that you said that,
return some kicks, Jack.
And I'm gonna tell you why he ain't gonna be. And I know awards don't, from college don't translate to the NFL or whatever. But let me tell you what, he is the first player ever to win the Maxwell, the Biletnikoff, the Walter Camp, and the Heisman in the first season. Right there. See that round?
Roll Tide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's
that's something else, man. That right there, that's an impact NFLer right there. He's small, he's slim, he did, and I don't think he need no weight. I don't think nothing. I think he can play the next level, because you got to realize that corner that's gonna line up against him ain't no bigger than him. Yeah. Most of them ain't no. That's what I'm saying. Most of them no bigger than Devontae Smith, and we know the routes. I remember listening to. I think I talked to you both about. They asked Devontae about 3 receivers from Bama that influenced, his game.
Yeah,
he said Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley told him to run the best routes. That was his advice to him. Run your best routes. Run the best routes that you can run. Henry Ruggs taught him, use your speed.
Yep.
Just run as fast as you can. And Actually, you know what? Actually, it was Calvin Ridley that told him to catch everything they throw you. That's what it was. It was, yeah, catch everything they throw you. Calvin Ridley said, catch everything they throw you. Ruggs said, use your speed. And Jerry Jeudy told him to run the best routes. That's what it was. And if you look at his game, it's like he listened. You know, the separation that he gets. I don't know if y'all ever saw the game, I don't forget who they were playing. The DB looked back at the safety to see where he was over the top before the snap. And Mac Jones messed around and snapped the football while that head was turned.
Over.
You talking about probably a 10-yard cushion off the line he was buying.
That was against Notre Dame.
I mean, just phenomenal, man. That guy he's gonna be special at the next level. He will be special.
You only had
100 balls every night after practice from the jug machine. Every practice, he stays after and catches 100 balls from the machine.
It's big, man.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
And he's humble.
That's big.
And the kid humble. The endorsements he's getting ready to receive, man.
I just say that, you know, I mean, the success of all the receivers that you just even mentioned that's that has come from Alabama within these past 5 years, you know, with Ruggs, with Cat, you know what I'm saying, with them boys just going to the league and just lighting it up, you know.
So with that being said, you talk about the boys going to the league, lighting it up. So, you know, I know I'm kind of off subject here, but so who you figure who's the best receiver to come out of Bama? I mean, out of all of them, Julio, you got Amari Cooper, Judy, Ruggs, Ridley.
You still got to get that thing to, you know what I'm saying?
Come on now. The only player ever to win the Maxwell, the Heisman, come on now.
Listen.
I mean, what did that tell you? He hadn't proved himself yet in the NFL because he hadn't gotten there yet.
Yep.
So you really can't make a comparison of who, but I'm saying who was the best receiver out of Bama, coming out of Alabama.
Oh, you talking about as far as like the numbers just at Alabama?
No, well, I mean, I could look that
up.
But I'm just saying who you think if you had to pick
Julio.
number one. Okay.
Julio. Let's not forget when Julio did all that, Alabama was a running team. Julio did all that. He was the first one to come out of there and make them names. So all them names
he did set the tone. Now.
Julio set the tone.
Set the tempo.
Yeah. So Julio was like, "Hey, if you're a receiver, you could Bama now. Like we getting it on." And in the future, you know, when Judy them came, that was already done. You had two and all. You know,
you know who I blame for that? Nick Saban.
Yeah. Nick Saban had the coaches that Nick Saban has groomed through that program and just giving them up at the end. He said there wasn't nothing but success coming from that program. He had the best coaches, you know, he had the best players. He can't get them all. Yep. But the ones he had did their job. They just played football. They just were good players. We know, talk about that fourth quarter. They raised them finger fourth quarter. If you got the 4-2 to be here in the fourth quarter, win a dogfight. You know, and a lot of teams get to the fourth quarter on them or get through the fourth quarter on them, you know. Definitely.
You talk about the Bama receivers, a number of them that's excellent. What about the Bama running backs? Because Najee, to me, is the best of their best. I think Najee runs harder than the kid from the Titans. You know what I mean? Plus, Najee is a kid
from Cali, 5-star.
California.
Yep.
Total different mindset when it comes to football.
Nope.
He's not a Southern kid. He's not an East Coast kid. Kid from California, man. Intelligent kid. You know, come from a great family.
And I think talking about Najee, I think that him coming from that West Coast football, he had to, it benefited him because he went to Alabama and then got tough. He turned into so he can because.
Yeah.
Oh wow! To come out of that league,
Snoop
see,
Dogg did.
I mean, highly touted down there. You know, you can
Yeah.
USC and everybody want him. Oregon, he bucked the trend and came to Alabama. You know, and all that. And then just think now, Najee, a 5-star coming out of Alabama, where everybody was just rolling out the red carpet for him, and then he comes to Bama, and then find out, boy, listen, this is, man, I got to prove it here. So ain't no, he's around nothing but 5 stars in the room, whether it's linebackers at 5 stars. So he got to learn how to block a lot with 5-star linebackers blitzing through the hole, pick up the blitz and all that. Yeah. So it grew him, man. Najee made that you talking about somebody on the business and made it happen for himself. You know, if Najee goes in the first round, stuff like that he can, those accolades, you know what I'm saying, big time, him making that decision to go to Bama, and him and his family making that decision to go to Bama. Yeah, that definitely helped him out big time.
Okay. So are we saying Ohio State?
I think Ohio State have a chance because, hey, listen, that young man over there, Justin Fields, and I think Ryan. Yeah, they got it. I think Ohio State playing in the Big Ten, and we always you look at that it's not as that powerhouse like it used to be with the Michigans and the States and the Penn States and all that stuff. COVID season kind of hurt them with them starting late, but I think that Ohio State is I think Ohio State a pretty good team. I think they stout. I think they, if it's any team up north that plays down south football like how we play with the athletes, it's always Ohio State. Now any other team, man, like come on,
you know where that come from though.
Oh yeah, when Urban Meyer went up,
Urban Meyer football.
Yes, that's Urban Meyer
footprint. That footprint never went away.
Never him the way to the promised land. He said, "Listen, if you want to
create the wheel,
thank you."
This works. This is how Ohio State football.
This is what you do. Recruit this, recruit that.
It's been looking the same for several years.
Thank you.
Yep.
But you know what team? You know what team is patterned that? Indiana, because most Indiana players are from Tampa, Florida area. That kid, before he got hurt, he from Tampa.
See. Come on now.
Playing a bowl game in Tampa.
You go Florida. They go that hotbed.
That's what you do.
About Texas and California if you want to.
I know that's right.
Come on now. Florida is a hotbed, boy.
Mm-hmm. So Indiana got that blueprint. That's why.
And that's how you turn. And look, you go get them Florida boys and you turn the program. Like look how Indiana turned it around. Mm-hmm. Look how you remember Louisville when Charlie Strong went to Louisville and he had he was the only team outside of outside of a school, the only university outside of Florida that had the most Florida players on his roster. I think he had like 40 something during that time. And they were competing, they were in the top 10s and stuff like that. That's how he got that big job over in Texas, do the same thing. And then, let's just be real. He wasn't allowed to do that at Texas because Texas is all about Texas football. So since he, hey, let's go back to here or whatever. But that's it. That blueprint shows, Clemson, look at them Clemson receivers, Tampa boys, go back to that. So, hey, the blueprint's there. They know what they're doing, man. They know how to turn it around. You go get them Florida boys, and You take a kid from Florida, and you take him out of Florida to teams up in the north or the southeast. They excel. Exactly, because they're too close to home sometimes. You got that comfort. You got that comfort.
Too close to home. When you got a roster of South Florida players and University of South Florida got a roster of Florida players. When you got a roster of Florida, I coached football in Miami in the late 80s. And I saw right there that Miami got all skill players. Mm-hmm. This was a skill player game. It's speed on speed. They didn't teach offensive linemen. They didn't teach defensive linemen.
Miami football players is like they music. You know what I'm saying? It's like they music. It ain't nothing subtle about it.
I like that.
It's fast paced, upbeat. Right.
I like that.
You know what I mean? All you making is highlight films all day.
Yep.
Anytime you can film kids running through a damn sugar cane chasing rabbits and make a commercial out of it. Come on, man. You know, that's South Florida.
Yeah.
That's legacy. That's legacy. That's
two offensive
stuff
linemen
that fables are created about, man. You know, them jokers down there in the sugar cane, man, they chase rabbit, they set them on fire. People done heard about that. Man, do they really do that? Is it, people done ask me all the time, is it true? For real, they do that? Yeah, they do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Of course they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, Texas ain't got nothing on Florida. California ain't got nothing on Florida. Not when it comes to football.
Mm-hmm.
But you take a Florida kid with the ability they have and put them in a program that has technique, that's when they excel.
Right.
Most Florida programs playing off raw ability and raw speed. You got to put some technique with it. That's what those guys. That's why Louisville was doing what they're doing. That's why Indiana is doing what they're doing now. Because you got those guys with that Florida mentality who learning how to play third and.
Well, a lot of the kids also where they come from, they used to being successful because they're so dominant. You know what I mean? They're dominant, and they get to these big programs.
That's it.
And everybody's dominant.
Yes.
And they can't make that adjustment because, you know, now here we go again. We talked about it long time ago about being down in Miami, taking care of the little brother after school.
Exactly.
I gotta leave practice early, or I can't stay afterwards because I gotta go, you know, sling some powder because, you know, my daddy locked up, and, you know, my mama working this job over in Bal Harbor somewhere, you know, and my little brother and them home by themselves. So they don't get to get that work in. But let me tell you what, them players that turn out to be them beasts, you know, when they able to do their thing, man, look at you ain't gotta do that no more. You know, you get these guys that pick up these kids that, you know, take them on and make sure that they you know, they go into school every day and everything is cool. And that's them kids that excel. They smart kids. South Florida kids, they resourceful and smart, man. You know what I mean? They smart as hell.
But they need daddies.
Yeah.
They need daddies. That's why you need to get
daddy
them out of
image.
Florida.
Or that daddy
They
image.
need a real daddy. They ain't gonna get a daddy in Florida.
Yeah, but that's why that's
right. They ain't gonna get that in Florida.
And that's why you got to be careful where you send them too. You know, you got to be careful where they go and all that stuff. You know, just like you said, they're coming from places where they don't have those father figures or whatever. I mean, I just got finished. I mean, my son, 8th grade, and just got finished coaching on his team, and I coach the running backs. And just like you said, man, that's that culture. That culture is, you know, fast, and, you know, the kids gonna run their mouth even back to you, and you got to get them straight. And most of them aren't used to you getting them straight because you know why? Because they haven't had father figures around, that type of stuff. You can tell the kids who have, because the minute you correct them, they get back right. But the kids that don't have that at home, they kind of like want to give you some more lip and then some more.
How many kids done fell out of the system because they couldn't, you know, comply?
Yes.
You know, or they couldn't adjust, or they couldn't make that correct, you know, take that corrective criticism.
Thank you.
They like walk away, man. Screw you. I'm out of here. Hey, take your uniform and throw it on the ground. How many All-Americans have we not seen because of that? The daddy didn't tell them, carry your behind back out there.
Exactly.
You started this. You ain't quitting.
Exactly. And we had, and I could tell you one on my son 8th grade team, man. We had a kid, man. This kid, super fast, track star. Man, I'm talking about ending around to the house. He was gonna be, you know, 8th grade just with my son and all that stuff. But his speed was just on another level. Attitude. He was gone after one game. I don't play no more and all that good stuff. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's just, you know, and it world class speed though. I mean, I'm looking at speed. I'm like, man, this kid, where you run track at? You know, because I know that's different. I'm like, this speed is different right here. And, you know, come on, a young man like that, hopefully he can get it right, you know, hopefully. But other than that, you know, he that ain't, you know, he was blessed with a gift.
Kids don't get it right on their own.
Oh,
they don't know how to get it right on their own today.
Yeah.
You know, I remember kids working when I was growing up at 13, 14 years old, you know what I mean? Especially if the parents had a local store or a market or you know what I mean, shoe shop or something, you know what I mean. But today's kids, they don't work well with themselves. You know what I mean? They don't understand, man, because the world is so easy for them. You know, everything is easy for these kids, you know.
Randall, let me ask you this. You know, your kids lived in North Carolina. They
Yes.
lived different places. They just haven't lived in South Florida. What do your sons see difference in kids' attitudes in
Yeah,
South
and
Florida
that's
than
what it
where
is. I
they
mean,
live?
when we first moved here, just like you said, a year ago, we moved here in 2019, so we've been for a year. So that first year, my son, my middle school son gets here, and he goes to play football. So I remember getting in contact with Sergeant Major, like, hey man, I'm taking him over here to Pembroke Pines, PPO, you know, whatever, like, yeah, because it's one of the best programs or whatever. So he gets around those kids, and he's just like, man, he love the football, he love how passionate they are, all the music. But then he started to see the attitude part of those kids. And what made my son stand out, he wasn't as talented as those kids coming from North Carolina, that, you know, that background football and all that good stuff. And then him still being young in the game. He had the yes sir, yes ma'am, man. Hey, you know, they tell him to do something, he go do it. Yeah, no, no problem. You know, he trying his hardest. All that stuff we taught him by him growing up around, you know, military family and stuff like that. You know, around in California, in Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina, things of that nature. So then and having respect for those those men and women when they say something, understanding, seeing that, you know. So and he saw that, and then especially going back this year, his second year, so his you know, coming back a little bit more athletic, 1 year up under your table. Now you kind of like around him and all that stuff more, and you kind of see like, man, these cats kind of reckless. I remember plenty of times when we were in the car with each other, and you know, now I'm coaching the running backs and stuff like that. So we have conversations in the car, and he's let me know like, man, like some of these dudes, man, they kind of out of control. And then I go back to see son, but this is why I'd raise you and your brother the way I do. This is why I get on you guys, because y'all got to understand. But yet it's still that young man still that's still your peer. You're still gonna have to be around him, so you have to be a leader to kind of pull him in and stuff like that also. And then while we're pulling them in, but then understand you're gonna be around these type of people. If you play this sport, you're gonna be around them for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to be able to get your best from them being a leader. Coach is gonna look at you like, Donovan, now you always got your head on right, man. Help Jaquan get it right. Help Chris get it right. I need you to help, please. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, you know, that's that difference. You know, that you know, that I could say that father figure difference. And a lot of the kids are getting coddled and all that stuff. And it's kind of ruining our kids.
Dang.
This question is for both of you guys. Do you see Pop Warner football as NFL football today? I mean, like, when we played Pop Warner, that was our pro football. Because the way we were taught, the way we were coached, not like today. Today it's more flamboyant. You got the shields on, you got the nice uniform, your parents out there with your jersey number. We were taught how to play football the right way. And to me, when I played Pop Warner football, that's the best coaching I ever had. I didn't have that same coaching in high school, but when I got to college, I played on the side. I played up on the West Chandler. I learned some more. But do you see now the way Pop Warner football is set up, that it's actually most of those kids NFL?
Well, I look at it as I don't see. Well, most of them, yeah, most of them. I would probably say it is their NFL. We talking Pop Warner. So I'm gonna say at least the high school may be their NFL, or maybe. Okay, you think the high school is their college, but Pop Warner is their NFL?
Yeah, high school is their college. Pop Warner football today is so prevalent with the national championships and the different divisions and the travel that they have now, and the unlimited weight class, and the way those kids play.
Interact with what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind that, that's like playing in the league.
Well, I mean, it is a lot of kids not gonna play after Part One. A lot of kids gonna play after high school. A lot of kids gonna play after college. You know, being the parent of a student athlete, I've watched kids fall off every year. You know, knock on wood, that mine is still, you know, going inside of an organization, still, you know, trying to achieve his dream. But I've seen a lot of them fall off that right after high school. I saw some pretty good kids that I thought were pretty good ball players never play baseball again, or never play football again. And you know what I mean? You know, but they gave everything they had when they were doing it. You know, they were all conference, all everything and all. But, you know, how many all conference players, you know, in the city or all state players or whatever, you know, I ain't gonna say don't get scholarships, but don't become nothing after, you know, they get to college. Because, you know, things change. You know, like I said, everybody in college is good. You know, 5 stars, you know, I mean, he a 3-star. Well, why is he a 3-star? You know what I mean? Why he ain't a 5-star? Well, and right. I'm saying the system, the grading system is flawed. You know what I mean? If you pay the more money you pay, like you say, the camps and this and that.
Yes, indeed.
Stars you go receive.
Yes, indeed.
It's some kid playing Division II football that's really good football players.
Yes, indeed.
It's really NFL caliber players. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it may not be but a handful of them, but you know it ain't Power 5 football either. You know what I mean? So, and everybody think the easiest way, you know, to the league, which it is a Power 5 school. You know, that granted, there have been, you know, SWAC players that have made it to the league, and MEAC players that have made it to the league, and CIAA players that have made it to the league. So, it can happen. Yeah. It can happen, but, you know, you got to be an exceptional player, regardless on where you play. You still got to be the best player on that field on any given Saturday, you know?
Okay. All right. Let's go further. Let's look at what we talked about this the other day. Look at what Deion Sanders is doing at Jackson State and in HBCU.
Man, I see that definitely, you know, making a change to, you know, through, you know, the stuff that's going on. I think that, you know, you know, but just the climate in our country at this time is, you know, making guys kind of open up to stuff like that. Like, you know, maybe I need to go to college, you know, where's kids that, you know, things of that nature. So, and then bringing a Deion Sanders to G or anything like that kind of opens up that door.
After what happened at the Capitol yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
Ain't no parent should be comfortable about sending their kid across the country nowhere.
Yep.
To a Power 5 school in Nebraska or, you know, El Paso or you know, somewhere in the
Missouri.
Country. Ain't no way I'm sending my kid to that kind of school with what's going on. Yes. I'm more comfortable with Deion. Can you come to my house and sit in my living room and talk to my kid about playing?
Yes, football? Indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm wanting to, you know what I mean? Well, your father is a Kappa and he was a Morehouse guy, so you know you need to be a Morehouse guy too.
Yes, indeed.
You know,
I play football. Well, go play football at Morehouse, son. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Go be the best player on that team. You know what? If
they come in to get you,
if you're a 5-star, you already on somebody's radar at the next level.
Yep.
You know, you just got to play football. You just got to go play good football, regardless on where it is. You know, it could be in the CIAA, but you better be the player of the year in the CIAA. Yeah. Or somewhere near it, you know what I mean? To be 1 through 10 in the draft pick or something. Yeah. Top 10 pick.
Yes.
Top 10 round pick in the NFL draft. You know, you good. You may not get invited to the combine from the CIAA, but then Cohen from Trent Cohen, didn't he go to the combine from A&T? Yeah. So somebody wanted him at the combine. That's, you know, you got to be good, man. You got to be good. That's it.
I see what Deion doing will one day cup runneth over. I see it spilling out into the
definitely.
Because like you can't sign every player. You can't sign every 5 blue chip or 5-star player.
Man, look at him.
Southern start to come up and Grambling and Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, it just helped them.
And then you got the Florida.
And just like we talked about,
Deion go skim off the top. He go skim off the talent off the top and give you the leftovers.
It's gonna form a super.
It's what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But then the other schools are gonna
and the coaches go tell them, you know, hey, Deion got 4 quarterbacks already.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Come on to play with me, and you know what I mean. You in there.
Thank you. You can play right away.
That's how that's gonna work.
That's what happened at Alabama State. Mm-hmm. Alabama State picked up 2 of the best. No, Alabama A&M picked up 2 of the best.
Man, I saw that.
It's rank football. If you're a 3-star,
California.
you big. That's big. That's a stud.
You a
Yeah.
4-star?
You a
Oh my
stud.
God.
Yeah. That's stud.
Yeah.
That's stud material. Oh yeah.
Swag football is gonna be something else, dude. But I'll tell you something. God done shifted some stuff. What we saw in DC, in the natural, it looks like, you know, well, it was a bad incident. But in the spirit realm, it's a shift. Think about it. We sat back, we sat back and looked at them people like, that's incredible. If that had been us, we'd have been dead.
Yeah.
They were out there on Front Street.
Yeah.
That's also happened in the sports world.
Yes.
The same thing has happened in the sports world.
Yeah.
The coach from North Carolina, University of Tennessee,
out of there.
Chattanooga. What did he say the other day about Stacey Abrams?
Fired.
He's out of there.
Yeah.
We got to be good. We got to be good athletes.
Good stewards.
We just got to be good Americans. Period. You know what I mean?
Yep. And it goes back to that. While the spotlight is on them, the ones that are part of that terrible, let's let it stay on them. You know what I'm saying? And let it stay on them. Don't do nothing. You know, let's stay on our grind like we've been doing. Let's stay on getting our education, all that. Let's stay on, you know, trying to transform it, because you got to understand these schools got to get on. They got to start cleaning house. Some of them people they got there that they know they shouldn't be there around these kids. Just like how we talked about. So Tennessee, Chattanooga, I could guarantee you they team predominantly black now. So what a coach like that doing, saying something like that, knowing good as well, you know what I'm saying, you coaching black players on a day-to-day basis. Come on now. You know, let's be real, man. You got to have respect for these young men culture and leaders that they look up to. You can't just be talking all reckless like that. Yeah, at Liberty, same thing.
Same thing happened at Liberty.
Yeah, excellent football season.
Liberty had an
thank you,
season.
and great talent because
talent on that team.
Thank you. Great talent because of what? Oh, you had a quarterback, a young African American quarterback that transferred from University of Auburn. Power 5 school comes in and leads your team to almost an undefeated season. Come on now, let's stop. Let's understand what this is. So if you at a school and a school acting up and not appreciating you and your talents being there, you now you got the possibility of transferring out to go into Jackson State. Dion over there talking about, come on, baby, come on, I got you. Come now, those schools on now they're on blast. We gotta start taking care of these guys better. But you should have been taking care of them better the entire time. That's it. So and then that's what it turns back to. I think it's a great thing. Just like you said, the cup runneth over. Dion can't sign them all, but now fam, you know, all of them could get into the conversation with four stars and 5 stars. You know, offer them. You know, oh man, they ain't gonna come here, man. Offer them, man. Go see them. See what's going on. See what, you know, these kids transferring. When kids transfer from UGA and Mississippi State and, you know, Florida State and Florida, go talk to them. Hey, you want to come here play right away and stuff like that? Go get them. So yo, I think it's a good thing.
The Power 5 schools are talking about pulling out of the NCAA, starting their own league. What do you think about that? And then that'll leave the middle tier schools, and as the top school, that'll what? Power 5 schools, Power 5 conferences, and then it'll leave the Conference USAs and those kind of conferences as the top tier of the NCAA.
Never happen.
Because the NCAA can't control.
Never. I think that'll never happen. Never happen. The NCAA, before the NCAA sees something like that go on, the NCAA will start paying players, doing whatever they got to do. Never happen. I think that it's a, you know,
stop paying them.
The biggest pool of talent comes out of the NCAA for one. The NCAA got a stranglehold on the, you know, that stuff right now, and then the things that, you know, you talking about TV money and all that stuff. This conference money and all that, you can't. It's too much money tied to it and stuff like that. It'll never happen. They'll never pull out of the NCAA. They'll threaten. They'll threaten them and stuff like that, but they'll never do that. They'll never pull out. See, that's why you starting to see the NCAA. A prime example of this. When the last time the NCAA has thrown like some type of hard restrictions on the team or doing all these investigations with player and all this good stuff, and teams been put on probation and all that. I see Jackson State just got put on probation. I think another team just got put on probation, but it wasn't nothing big like University of Miami back in the days, like, you know, all those schools. You know why? Because NCAA is starting to loosen up. Like, you know what? We better chill out, because we already looking bad right now with these players and this money and stuff like that. So we might want to chill. So, you know, I think they loosening up because they know that stranglehold that they've had on all these colleges and things of that nature that is starting to, you know, you better loosen up that grip, or we'll threaten to do this, or we'll, you know, come out with some money, you know, just, you know, start showing these financials and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen as far as that Power 5 or whatever.
Well, dang. Well, Nat, let me tell you, man, look like we need to wrap this thing up and figure out what's gonna go on Monday night. What we got Monday night?
Monday night. I'm gonna go with Ohio State in the upset.
I got Alabama. I think the over and under
Roll Tide
is like 75.
Off the toilet roll.
I got Bama by at least 3 touchdowns.
Ooh. Who the player of the game then? Who the player of the game on the Alabama side then?
I'll take Mac Jones.
Well, say after they ain't getting the Heisman, they got to give him something, huh?
Yeah, Devontae done won too many awards, man. He
don't want too many, huh?
told him, nah, man, just get to him, man.
Yo.
Trey Sermon
Hey,
will
listen.
be the MVP.
Hey, I'm going with Nat on this one, Sorry, Major. I'm sorry, man. I think that Ohio State, I think that they do something, man. I think that, you know, but you know what? One that it is due for Alabama year. You know, they ain't won it in about 2 years. You know, yeah, it's about time for them. They overdue. But I just think that Ohio State, on their shoulder, and I think they're going to come out with their defense is going to play a lot better than what everybody expect. You know, everybody overlooking them, stuff like that. If Fields and he not having no issues with them ribs, it's gonna be an upset. But if he having an issue with them ribs on Monday night, and it's gonna be a long night. Be a long night.
We will see.
I also like to ask everybody who's listening in, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because it's like sitting up under the tree talking with the fellas right here. I love this. You guys need to subscribe. We're going to be bringing on new guests. We'll have call-ins.
Yes, everybody subscribe. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We'd like you to listen. We just hit the button. Subscribe to us. We'll try to bring you some good content each week and a little something different. And you know, eventually we're gonna open up the lines for everybody to, you know, join in on us, man. We'll take a couple guests here or there. We'll bring some people on and, you know, talk about some things that you know, we've been talking about for years. I love what we're doing. You know, let's do a good job at this thing. I mean, give everybody, you know, some good information and let's just, you know, let's do our thing, man. Pretty
stuff.
Good. Okay. Until the next time we meet, fellas. This
show
has been a show.
Subscribe. All righty, we're out.
For sure. We're out of here.